Um, okay, next is Ryan Damone. And the subject is, who is Don Tony? There's some podcaster named Don Tony that is taking credit for Conan getting a kidney from years ago. Now he's taking shots and passive aggressively talking about how he won't ever help anyone again. Did this guy donate his kidney, and has he tried to help you, Don Tony?
No, he didn't donate his kidney. What he did is him and this lady. Remember that she's from the East Coast, Georgia
Jim
Macropolis.
Acropolis,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when they found out that I had, kidney problems, and Impact was not helping me pay for it, um, they started like a GoFundMe. Back then, there was no such thing as it, but just like donations.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that he helped also, and I've always thanked him and her.
Well,
So,
he's making it sound like he won't ever that you didn't.
well,
Well, publicly just say, are you saying thank you to Don Tony for helping you
of
out in the
course,
past? Okay,
thank you very
right.
much, Don Tony, and I've
So
said
there
it
we go.
before. I'm
So
not
there we
sure
go. That
what
should
the
nip that
problem
in the
is.
bud.
Yep,
Yeah.
just like that.
Just like that, right? So, next is from C. Allen. Subject is WrestleMania. Don Tony, no. Then we play a soundbite like when the camera when the cameras are off. It's like that guy. I didn't do it. Next is from C. Allen. The subject is WrestleMania 40. Hello, K100 crew. My question is regarding next year's WrestleMania. If you think there's a match at 39 that could lead to a feud lasting until 40, my pick is Theory versus Cena. I can see Theory beating Cena. Cena standing away for a year and either coming back to cost Theory in the Rumble to set up a grudge match, or even winning the Rumble and challenging Theory for the title at 40. Either Cena avenges loss in 39 and breaks Ric Flair's world record, or he loses and is forced to retire. What do you guys think? Thanks. I mean, that's on the
It's
table.
all
But,
dependent
right, yeah.
on Cena's
Speculation.
schedule and whether or not
Right.
they want to do
Bro,
that story.
I don't even
All
want
of
to
those,
talk
He'll
about
be there.
WrestleMania
all of those
40.
things work. The only thing I would never do is force him to retire. That's not a good look for a baby face.
Right. Next is from Adge Grucott. The subject is NFL into the PL. The NFL turning into the EPL. How due to the cruise we say in Blighty? With free agency in the NFL seeing some crazy trades and huge paydays, do you think the win now mentality is taking over the steady build approach? Coupled with frequent firings of coaches barely seen through a year, it bears a similar feel to how a Premier League works. Managers sacked and replaced all too often. What are your thoughts on this? On a side note, lately I found myself constantly rewatching early 80s sci-fi classic over and over and over. I guess I must be addicted to the Blade Runner. Boom. Adge Telford. Should we? That's a guy
Suspend
trying
him.
to spend
And
for
he's been
trying to
suspended before, so give him an extra week.
2
Ooh,
weeks.
That's no good, Edge. Nice try.
So uh yeah, the EPL fires managers left and right, you
Right.
know? Like this was hysterical. There was a what team is this? Brentford or who did Arsenal play this week? Brentford, I think. So Brentford. Hang on. I want to make whoever Arsenal played this past week, right? This weekend, they had they went 3 games, okay, without getting a shot on goal. Like in soccer, that's 270 minutes. It was like 290 minutes altogether, or something like that, with extra time and stuff. Just it's a ridiculous amount of time, not even ever getting a shot on goal. So they got rid of the manager, right? And they fired the manager before the Arsenal game, but the manager was like an Arsenal legend, like a former Arsenal legend. So like Arsenal had extra motivation to like beat this team for embarrassing like firing their legend, before the game, and they beat him like 4-1. So it's like, but yeah, if you're in the EPL, if you're getting relegated, if you're the relegated, they get rid of you. Like these owners are paying money to keep them up, because you lose a massive amount of money if you get relegated.
Just so you know, the
So
team they played was Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace, right? Yeah, and but yeah, they interesting. But the
They're still in
NFL,
first place, right?
right? But the NFL is kind of weird because, bro, there's only like a handful of coaches. Okay, let's talk about the coaches that are bulletproof. That even if they have a bad year this year, there's no way the team should fire them
Right.
because of their success over
Belichick.
the years. Bill Belichick. Let's go with what's his name? The Ravens.
The guy from
Harbaugh.
Kansas City.
John Harbaugh. Okay.
Reed.
Andy Reid. Me and Mad would disagree on this, but I still say Mike Tomlin. Okay.
Yes, I would agree.
Who else we got in there? They've been around for a while. Oh, I'd say the Green Bay Packer guy. I would not get rid of him. He's a
McCarthy?
winner. Yeah, no, not McCarthy. The LaFleur.
LaFleur, my bad.
Right? Yeah. We'll see how he does, especially if he does well with no Aaron Rodgers this year.
Yeah,
You
but I
know,
do think he's not bulletproof. I think they will get rid of him if they have a
they
bad year.
could, but I wouldn't. And Sean, what's his name? The Rams guy. I wouldn't get rid of him either.
Yeah,
You know, you could just and Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan. There's no way you're getting rid of Kyle Shanahan. That's like those are guys that like you have them if they have a bad year, it's probably by accident or injuries or something. But like they've proven that if they're your coach, you're in the mix to win the Super Bowl that year if things go right. You know,
Sean
so
McVay.
Sean McVay, right? Yeah,
And you know what? Now that Sean Payton, didn't he?
yeah, right. Him too. I would
Yeah,
never get rid.
yeah,
Right? Yeah,
right.
he's back. He's
Yeah.
back in it now, right?
Right.
Yeah, interesting question there. So. Next is from Jesse, even though you're suspended for 2 more weeks, so buddy.
That's tremendous.
Next is from Jesse Hernandez, and the subject is media abuse, fame, and family. Hello, all. I know that both of you, Conan and Disco, don't care what people say or think about you. One of my favorite players is William from Brazil, who ironically plays for Fulham on Tony Khan's team. He had to leave his team and his country because the abuse he was getting from the Brazilian soccer fans was hurting his family. Articles were popping up on his kids' newsfeed, or the algorithm on YouTube was suggesting videos of their father getting abused. My question is, do your friends and family get affected when they hear comments about you guys? How do you and your loved ones prepare when you become famous or a public figure? I feel that out of every entertainment industry that exists, wrestling is most toxic. Wrestling fans always have to have an opinion, just can't enjoy a show. I hope that by you addressing fans will have a second thought before posting something hurtful, not just to you, but a public figure. Go
I
ahead.
agree with that last part that he said.
Yeah, I don't. None of my fans really follow any of my stuff or my fam. I got my mom. My mom's my family. She doesn't follow any of my social media or any of this content. So I don't care. She didn't care. Next is from Patrick Eborn, and the subject is original mayor of Suplex City. Hey crew, hope all is well. Congratulations to you guys being inducted to the Hall of Fame and much deserved. And congratulations getting the honors of inducting him. I'll be watching. It hasn't been confirmed yet. My question is on Scott Steiner. There's a clip of Scott Steiner suplexing the Giant in WCW, and there's a rumor that the Giant didn't know he was going to do that. Is that true? And did Scott or Rick suplex people without them knowing and doing that often? Thank you for taking my question and keep up the good content. Longtime listener Patrick Ebord. I have inside information on this. Show this clip, Joe.
Well, we were there for that, remember?
No, we were there for that. Bro, I was right there when they were going over the match.
Right.
And Scott Steiner says, hey, this is how he described it to him, to Giant. He goes, hey, I'm just going to get you under here today. I'm going to put you on your back. He didn't say, like, I'm going to suplex you or something. Right. It says, I'm going to put you on your back. Right? Okay, so watch this.
And
bro, they got absolutely pissed at Scott Steiner for doing this to him because they didn't want the Giant taking bumps yet. Because he hadn't wrestled Hogan yet. He hadn't wrestled any of the big guys. So go ahead.
Scott's standing on it. Pick it up, Scott. Hit him with it. Scott's going to try to get him up.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. Can you believe it, Cena?
Look how excited he was. He was so excited.
Right.
He was the first guy that bumped the Giant.
Right.
How great is that, right?
And on live TV.
Yeah, and Kevin, so they got mad at the Giant for taking. I'm like,
well, what was he going to do?
Scott Steiner's telling you what's going on. He's green, right? Right, exactly, right? Yeah. So next is oh wait, next one here. Next is from Jonathan Wood, and the subject is women winning men's titles. Hey fellas, this past week in GCW has Masha Slamovich beat Nick Gage for their heavyweight title. This type of farce seems like it's becoming more and more prominent in the industry, and maybe I'm just some jive-ass misogynist, but I feel like it's completely annihilating the product. Yeah, Ronda Rousey would likely whoop the teetotal out of me, but she wouldn't against Roman Reigns, Gunther, or any other legitimate champion. As a booker, Conan, and someone that's booked before, Disco, how does someone justify this to the locker room, to the fans, etc., other than claiming social justice equality? I mean, for sake, Nick Gage beat Moxley for the GCW title, and now he's lost it to a woman. What does that say about John Moxley, the supposed wrestler of the year, that he couldn't beat someone that was choked out by a girl? Joe, even you as a fan has to see this like this, or Tessa Blanchard beating Sami Callihan in Impact, or Jordan Grace beating Cardona, amongst numerous other examples, is just take a hot fat shit on the industry, or am I the clown here not seeing something? On the subject of emasculation, I thoroughly enjoyed the rehash of KG getting more emasculated than I've ever seen before by Lance Storm and Don Callis. The only people I can think of that should feel more deballed and emasculated than KG are any hosts of Get My Go. I'd say Joe doesn't count since he apparently has heat with Hughie, which gained some points with me, but you're still on probation. Keep up the good work, folks, and tell Billy he's been vindicated in support of Sasha Banks not moving the needle, selling out New Japan Pro Wrestling after seeing that no way was that gym in San Jose sold out, even with Okada and other supposed stars booked for the event. He's consistently right, has great gambling takes, and is willing to admit when he was wrong and apologize to the folks he was wrong about. See his AEW apology to Britt Baker and others. And K100 Sports is a fantastic addition to your lineup. Billy haters. Thanks again, John Wood. There you go.
Billy wrote this.
Billy, if you're really
See that, but I saw a tweet earlier too. It was like, I'm gonna have my own mailbag because K100 refuses to read positive emails about me. And that's
Yeah,
how I
right.
responded. I'm like, I'm pretty sure.
No, he thinks right. Yeah,
I'm pretty
we
sure.
get him up. We're gonna
this, you know,
we're gonna get we're
Please
gonna
send it
we're
to
gonna
me,
hit
but
him. We're gonna hit him with all this stuff Thursday when we have him on.
So
What about bro?
women-
You like the but the intergender in AAA is different because they've been doing it for years, right?
Right.
I'm completely not a fan of bro. Because here's the thing: you do the intergender like this, and you go this far with it, you're gonna have people on it. You're affecting the suspension of disbelief, and you're telling everybody wrestling's fake. We're just performers. We're just and in the long run, you just don't. That just does not sell in mass amounts. But you get these marked promoters, doing these indie shows that want to do like this. It's like, okay, fine, but you're not like you can. It's like you're finding a fetish audience.
Mhm.
And you're booking for a fetish audience, and it's like, go ahead. I mean, it's your dime, and there is an audience for that, but it's a fetish, and you're not going to grow by putting this type of content out there. What do you think about that?
I don't know, because I think at the end of the day, this isn't so much about social justice, but just the way that we are today. Because I'll give you an example. Did you see the Wonder Woman movie?
No.
Okay. So she's beating up men in it, and it looks realistic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, if you get a girl that's like Rhea Ripley would be a good example, that she looks good and she's tall and, I think she has some sort of combat sports experience, but whether she does or she doesn't, she looks the part. And let's say, for example, what's their secondary title? The Intercontinental?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
which one?
Intercontinental second.
Yeah, let's
US
say
Championship.
Miz had it or Finn Balor had it, and maybe even during the match and the finish, they miss and they wipe out on something, whether, I don't know, a table, a ladder, whatever. And she takes advantage and she just beats him. I mean, I think that's the future anyways. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
Yeah, he asked my thoughts as a fan on that, and I didn't have a problem specifically with Tessa winning the Impact belt or anything. But when something like that happens, it always does look to me and reek to me of just social justice. Like, oh, let's get attention by doing this, and it's
Yeah,
and
that could be part of it. That could be part of it without a doubt. Because where are you going to find more snowflakes in the wrestling industry? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's worked for us in Mexico, and it can work here. You just have to be educated to. You're not used to it, so you kind of, oh, I can't believe this is happening. But if it's well booked and you find the right girl, it can work. Like I saw that match between Tess and Sami Callihan. What was weird to me, and I think I might be misremembering, but I think originally they wanted her to beat Brian Cage, and I was like, okay, you're not gonna make that make
I think
sense.
she did beat Brian Cage.
Did she? All right.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that to me did not make sense. So now she went against Sami Callihan, and bro, he really carried it to a really good match. She's talented anyways, but it was a good match because I was there.